Yeah, what's up, y'all? Kind of did a little riding around. Saturated market. Like I said, man, it's getting bad. It's getting bad. But guess what? Help is on the way. And I told y'all, there's a lot going on right now. And as drivers and as American drivers, more than anything else, and even a few people have been commenting saying in the UK, even some of the UK drivers are having the same issue with their government allowing, immigration at a certain level. Well, today, hey, wait till you see some of these video clips today. The government is clamping down because they're starting to realize what's going on. I think a lot of us already realize it because if you've been watching me comment within the videos I've made regarding immigration, I've been talking about the Electoral College. And a lot of people are like, well, how does the Electoral College work? I've been trying to explain that in certain comments. Well, today, January the 25th, they finally came out and said, this is to alter the Electoral College, just like I've been commenting. Like I said, we're always on the front edge of shit. We always know what's coming down the pipe on this channel. That's why I try to keep you guys, up to speed. We talk on live streams. I talk in videos. I try to make sure you guys are ahead of what's coming. Today, the 25th, like I said, all my videos are before today, and I've been discussing the Electoral College. They're finally clamping down on the Electoral College, and I'll show you how they're stopping the Democrats from playing this game, using these immigrants as pawns. They really thought they were going to come over here and have a great life. And a lot of us were like, man, they're really going to come over here and take over our country. We're seeing this invasion right now. The Republicans caught wind of this. And they've probably been knowing about this for a while, but finally came out today and said, we're proposing legislation to stop the American public from being infiltrated when it comes time to elect our president, because they know there's about to be policies put in place that is going to bring our economy back. Drivers again can start making money again. Because like I said, our job is based on the economy. If people ain't making money, they're not going out. They're not traveling. They're not doing things. They're not tipping. If the economy is doing bad, drivers are doing bad. The apps are always going to do good because they're going to steal our tips. They're going to jack around with the fares and everything. They're going to sit up there and pay everybody, pennies on the dollar. They're going to make their profits. We don't get a cut of it because of the games they're playing with the economy right now. Check this out.
Venezolano, nicaragüense, hondureño, Guatemala, Cuba.
¿Por qué todos le gusta el presidente Biden? ¿Por qué?
Es un presidente que ayuda mucho al inmigrante.
Es un futuro mejor Biden.
¿Biden por todos?
Todos.
Sí. No, pero ¿por qué los migrantes le gusta Biden?
Porque Biden apoya
Porque él apoya a los inmigrantes.
Biden.
¿Es un mejor presidente de Trump?
El presidente de Estados Unidos, Biden.
¿Tu opinión de Trump?
Trump no sirve. Trump no quiere a los inmigrantes.
Ok.
Trump es un inmigrante y desecha al inmigrante.
Hay aquí en Ciudad de México.
En tu opinión, ¿presidente Biden ayuda a migrantes mucho o no?
Claro que sí, ayuda. A migrantes ha ayudado.
¿Sí?
Ha ayudado demasiado a migrantes, ha ayudado.
En tu opinión de Biden, ¿es bueno o no bueno?
Tiene buen corazón.
Los migrantes de Venezuela y otros países, ¿te gusta el presidente Biden o no?
Sí, Biden, claro. Bueno, va a ganar las elecciones otra vez de nuevo.
Sí.
Sí, porque va a ayudar a más gente todavía.
Ok, en tu opinión de presidente Trump.
No.
¿No?
No quiere a los migrantes, no nos quiere.
¿No te gusta Trump?
No quiere a los migrantes.
No. Ok. Y la elección en 2024 es posible Biden y Trump, ¿sí?
Van a ser los contrincantes son ellos, pero Biden va para adelante otra vez. Tiene que ganarla porque ha ayudado mucho y Dios tiene que bendecirlo.
Ajá. So todos los migrantes, ¿cómo se dice? ¿Cómo todos los migrantes apoyen presidente Biden en la elección?
Claro.
Sí.
I want to announce we're putting forward some important legislation. Some legislation that answers a question that I am very often asked about what's happening at our southern border. What's the reason, what's the rationale for this invasion that's been unleashed on our nation? We have some 8 to 10 million people that have entered America just since Joe Biden took office. Children in my state and in every state are being poisoned by fentanyl. Human trafficking is occurring. It is an absolute disaster, and the question comes, why? Well, video recently emerged. The Democrat Congressman, Yvette Clarke from Brooklyn, New York, explaining to us why. She said very clearly, the quiet part out loud, she needs these illegal immigrants for the purposes of redistricting. Let me explain this. In our nation today, we count the number of people, not the number of citizens, for the purpose of allocating congressional districts and electoral votes. What we're seeing is the Democrats abusing the system by creating sanctuary cities in blue states that are literally losing citizens every day to states like mine. What's happening is cities like San Francisco, Los Angeles, Chicago, New York are acting as magnets to attract illegal immigrants. Those immigrants are then being counted in the populations of California, Illinois, New York, and other cities for the purposes of allocating congressional districts and electoral votes. As a result, the limousine liberal in California has much more power in their vote than the single mom in Tennessee. That needs to come to an end. We need to clarify this once and for all. We need to make certain that only citizens are counted for the purposes of allocating congressional districts and electoral votes. That's why we're introducing this legislation.
So as you can see, the Republicans are figuring it out. Everybody's leaving the blue states, moving to states like Arizona, moving to red states. The Americans are moving to those states, and therefore they're using illegal immigrants to replace those people. They're calling themselves, sanctuary states. Since people are saying we're tired of the politics in this blue state, we're tired of, the economy in this blue state, we're moving to a red state where we can live better, have better jobs, better opportunities. They're saying, well, we need to refill those seats with somebody. They're moving illegal immigrants to those states. The replacement theory. Everybody's saying if we lose all of our people that are moving to states where there's opportunity, we're going to lose electoral votes. We're not going to win the election. Therefore, let's move more immigrants in, saturate the economy in places like California, Illinois, New York, really saturate the economy. But in the meantime, we're getting feet. We're getting electoral votes in this state.
That American citizens are the ones that should be counted with respect to allocation of congressional districts and electoral votes.
Thank you. And let me just simply share with you, when we have illegal immigration, it hurts legal immigration. We want the Equal Representation Act to make it very clear that the individuals that can vote for representation in the United States are those individuals that are here legally. Citizens, children, as a part of the count in the population base, have always been accepted. But right now, we are talking about a case in which, over a very short period of time, we have 8 million individuals that have now entered our country. That is 10 times the population of my state of South Dakota. This simply is not fair to those individuals that are standing in line waiting to legally immigrate into the United States. And at the same time, it is not fair to the citizens of the United States to have representation for the apportionment of congressional districts be based on the number of individuals that are not here legally.
Issue. We're in the middle of the worst border crisis in U.S. history. Since Biden took office, as Senator Rounds mentioned, we'd have over 8 million illegal border crossings. In the month of December alone, 302,000 illegal alien encounters. It was the highest month that had ever been recorded in U.S. history. So instead of trying to solve this crisis, some congressional Democrats are encouraging more illegal immigration. So let me quote one Democrat congresswoman. She said, "I need more people in my district just for redistricting purposes." It's truly an unbelievable statement. An elected official encouraging illegal immigration for political gain.
You hear that? These are powerful people using these immigrants as pawns in a political game. They don't care what happens to these people once they get to the United States. They're freezing up in cold states. They're homeless. They're stacking on top of each other. They're living out of cars. They do not care. All they want is these people to have their feet here on this soil and to give them an address, whether it be in a hotel, in a shelter, or somewhere. This is all a political game. They do not care about these people, just like they don't care about Americans.
Since 1820, the census has routinely asked questions about citizenship. This current policy rewards sanctuary cities and sanctuary states with outsized population because it's counting people who came here illegally, people who broke the law. And it's fundamentally unfair to states like mine in Nebraska or states who are following the law.
Basically put, they're allowing an illegal activity to supersede legal activity. That's like giving criminals the keys to the jail cell and saying, hey, you guys run the show. That's basically what this guy just said. That the Biden administration and all the Democrats allowing this are saying we're going to use criminal activity, illegally entering our country, to supersede legal American citizens and their rights here in this country.
In the last year, Joe Biden has abused the parole system to parole 1.2 million people into this country. That's about 2/3 the size of the state of Nebraska, our population. The average, just to put in context, during the Obama and Trump, on average, 5,600 people, that's 5,600 people would be paroled into this country over the course of a given year, and Joe Biden has just done it for 1.2 million people. That highlights how unfair this is, and this bill will correct that injustice. Only citizens can vote in elections, and that's the way it needs to remain. And so it makes sense that only citizens should be counted for the purposes of congressional representation and electoral college votes. This bill will make the data and policy changes to make sure we implement that. And frankly, this is what Nebraskans expect, that only citizens are going to be involved in determining who has representation in Congress and those electoral college votes.
Thank you. I'm here to explain the effect that we're in if Senator Hagerty's bill doesn't pass, and to enthusiastically support Senator Hagerty's bill. I come from the state that is the smallest population in the nation. We have one member of the U.S. House of Representatives. We have only 3 electoral votes, because as you'll recall, the Electoral College allocates electoral college votes by how many House members and how many senators you have. So with only one House member, we only have 3 electoral college votes. If someone from Brooklyn can count illegal immigrants for purposes of establishing how many electoral votes they have an outsized clout in deciding who's going to be the president of the United States.
I'm not doing nothing for clout. I don't even recognize clout.
In who's going to govern our nation, and they're counting people that are here illegally. Some states allow illegals to have a driver's license. So you can't use a driver's license as indicia of citizenship, because those laws vary from state to state. We have to use the census as the true and correct indicia of who is a citizen, who is not, who's entitled to vote, who is not, who pays taxes because they are here legally, whether they're a citizen or not, and who's hiding in the shadows. This is creating a real distortion. The Biden policies are distorting our ability to understand who's in our country, what they're doing here, and it goes to who's entitled to be here legally, who's entitled to vote, who's entitled to be counted for purposes of the Electoral College. As the representative of the state with the smallest population and the most to lose from an electoral sense by having illegal immigrants spread across this nation in the shadows, I wholeheartedly support Senator Haggerty's bill. I thank him for his foresight in addressing this issue now.
Now, as you just heard her talk about how small her state is and she only has 3 electoral votes. Now, once you start getting to where all these migrants are going, the Electoral College gets bigger for that state. This is how they're going to drown out the red states, how the red states won't count. Because like if everybody's voting blue in that state, or if the Electoral College has to support blue in that state, they can flip. But if they don't, then that state goes blue. All because of how many illegals are in there. And the people who are paying taxes, the people who have lived in this country, supported this country their whole lives, sitting in the red state, get drowned out by people who are illegally in this country. This is how it works.
You know, with this wide open border, one of the things that is concerned to us is the way these blue cities that are losing population are welcoming illegal immigrants into their community. Now, why are they doing this? It is because when you get to the census, what they need is people who are going to replace the people that have chosen to vote with their feet and leave these cities. So
she's talking about the people who used to live in a blue state who decided to go live in a red state like Arizona, how everybody's moving to Arizona from like Ohio, from, Missouri, from all of these blue states. They're coming here now. Illinois, like Chicago, a lot of Chicago people here. And what happens is those people now are in a red state and we have more electoral votes. So what do? The replacement theory. Send all the illegals up to a place that's a sanctuary city. Like they want to pack Texas, they want to pack Arizona. We don't have the resources for them. So what happens? They end up, even the federal government itself is not telling people. They're trying to put it on Governor Abbott. The federal government is flying people into sanctuary cities and busing people into sanctuary cities, but they're not telling anybody that. They're saying Governor Abbott is doing all of that.
So to the big blue cities, big blue states, sanctuary cities, this means keeping congressional seats and keeping federal dollars. So I'm so appreciative that Senator Haggerty is pushing forward, bringing this legislation and calling attention to the fact that as we do the census, that these individuals do not need to be counted as citizens of the United States.
Now, that was basically the gist of that press conference. And what I did is I relay it to like rideshare and gig work because we know what these people are doing. They're coming over here. They're renting people's accounts. They're buying, accounts on the black market. They're renting cars. They're running these cars into the ground. They're destroying the economy in so many cities. And we finally have people who are saying these people are coming to America, destroying not only the economy, but how we vote, how we hold power as Americans in this country. So I'm so glad that this bill is passing because it gives relief. A lot of relief to drivers, to delivery drivers, gig workers, to people who are doing, errands and stuff like that. This gives a lot of relief to those people because now we may see the immigration slow down because if they come over here and they know it's not going to work, the plan is not going to work. You altering the election is not going to work. So they're going to say, you know what, just seal the border up. We'll figure out what to do with the people we got over here now. They're all going to be deported. We just got to stay strong. We got to fight as drivers to keep packing your accounts with profits. Stay strong. This is going to end one day. We're fighting for drivers against these apps every day. But now we got the government laying some law down that kind of gives us a little more fight. And I know people like, well, politics ain't got nothing to do with rideshare. Oh, it has a lot to do with it. Like I told you, this channel is growing. This channel is different in mindset. We're very intellectual on this channel. We see things beyond what they are. We've always been on the front edge. Like I've been saying, this is about the Electoral College. This is about altering an election. I've said that before this press conference even took place. We're intellectual over here. We not a bunch of idiots just running around. Oh, well, they didn't tell me nothing. I didn't get a notification on my app. It's not about notifications on your app. It's about you using your brain and figuring out what's going on with this country right now. People are finally starting to see, hey, we got a lot of immigrants over here. A lot of people are getting uneasy. Residents are getting mad. Workers are getting mad. Contractors are getting mad. What's going on? Okay. This is more about the election than anything else, because they know when Trump takes office, and we know what's going to happen, they're going to try to put him in jail. He's going to take office even if he's in jail. He's taking office. And when that happens, all of these immigrants illegally here are going to be gone. Any immigrant that's legally here, they'll be able to stay. They'll be able to start a family here. They'll be able to start helping out our economy and doing things. But for everybody that's illegally here, they're on their way out because the game is not going to work. They tried to pull a fast one on people. They know black people are getting more money now. Like I said, I bought a house under the Trump administration. I ain't never bought a house before. I bought a house under the Trump administration. And I'm sitting here like, black people are getting money. We buying houses, Jeeps. I bought the Jeep. I was, had enough money to go buy this car. I was doing so much during the Trump administration. Black people started getting money, started seeing policies that were working. And now black people are waking up going, now that we've got this guy Biden in here, pulling in all these immigrants, soaking down our economy, watering down the work, it's a game. Black people were being played for their votes for generations. And now we got these illegals coming over here being played. They're all being played. They're all pawns just to boost the Electoral College. They don't care about these people. Like I said, these people are out in the cold. These people sleeping on buses. They sleeping in gyms. They're sleeping in police stations. They don't care about these people. They had nothing set up for these people. They wanted to get these people over here, get them, hurry up, get them documentation, get them to work, gig work, or whatever they can do. Get the election done and over with. Have the Electoral College, even though the popular vote may say, hey, we want Trump. Popular vote may say we want Trump. But they're going to say, well, the Electoral College chose Biden. Because all of these immigrants, and you can see them, yeah, we love Biden, we love Joe Biden, we love Joe. They all say that. Ain't none of them for Trump. So they're going to only go to places where Trump is going to lose. They're only going to cities where Trump is going to lose based on the amount of people leaving those states to come to states that actually have an economy. Black people want to work. White people want to work. Chinese people want to work. Everybody wants to work, so they go to where the work is. And blue states have watered down the economy so much, it's hard to work there. So they're coming to red states, and we welcome the workers. Come on, we welcome the work. But then it comes out to be like, hey, they're doing this for the election. Not only are they going to ruin the election, but they're going to ruin the American economy, have these people strung out, sitting over here on soil they don't know nothing about. The election's going to be over. It's going to be the exact same thing happening to the people that say, oh, we're going to forgive all your college loans. We're going to do all it. What happened to all those people? They still arguing right now about their college loans. Y'all got to pay attention to what's going on. And that's why I'm glad a lot of drivers are on this channel, because we can talk to riders out there. We can talk to people, while we're hanging out at gas stations. We can chat. We can figure out how are we going to fix this economy. We have politics coming into play. We can parlay off of that. We can help use that. We can support anybody out there who's supporting getting this whole population right, getting the illegals out of here, getting them out of our way so we can rebuild this country and rebuild our wealth. We're not redistributing our wealth to anybody else. We need to fix America and what's going on in America. A lot of rideshare drivers right now got cars sitting next to their house they can't even fix. But yet we got, illegals out here making, $1,000 a week driving around beating these damn cars up and everything. So how are we going to sit here and fix all the stuff we got when we got illegal immigrants? We've got the app saying we don't want to pay these drivers nothing. Why do we got to pay the driver something? We have illegals willing to take that for cheaper. My man, he sent me a message saying that, you know what? I was on my way to go pick this rider up. He had a great rider, airport ride, on his way to pick him up, almost to the client. Uber canceled the ride. The client didn't cancel the ride. The rider never canceled. Uber canceled the ride and gave it to a cheaper rider. Knowing who that was, we don't even have to guess. It was either a new driver that don't know shit, or it was an immigrant that don't know shit. But this guy had a pretty good ride set up. This is what they're doing. We've got to get our country under control. And I'm glad that there's administrations right now seeing what's going on and saying, hey, you know what? You guys are hurting this country way more than you helping this country. You might be helping a few corporations create profits here and there. You might help the Democrats win the seats or whatever, but you're hurting this country. We got to get you out of here.